Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Horton Square. Paulina runs into Abe and tells him how much she appreciates his assistance with the election. Abe declines her invitation to Thanksgiving dinner since he has a competing offer from Steve and Kayla, but he promises to get back to her. After that, he leaves. Digs between Sloane and Eric. Sloane informs Eric that their kid will be born on Thanksgiving Day. Though thrilled, Eric is nevertheless deeply troubled by Nicole's passing. Sloane notes that although she feels bad for Nicole and EJ, they should also focus on the impending arrival of their own little one. Sloane suggests that they come up with a moniker. Eric proposes name the infant Samuel or just Sammy. It's unbelievable to Sloane that he wants to name their son after his sister Sami, a fun rivalry between the two of them. Sloane claims to have heard that Sami is a bit of a hot mess. Though Sami is the most devoted person he has ever met, Eric claims she earned her reputation. Eric is reminded by Sloane of the tense past that existed between Sami and Nicole, and he is curious about the specifics. Eric claims Nicole abducted Sami's child. Salem PD, front desk. Wendy and Harris say hello, and he sends her his condolences on her brother's passing. He updates her about Ava's newest developments. When she tries to reach Tripp to update him, she receives his voicemail. Wendy makes the decision to go tell him what occurred in the hospital. Stephen storms into Nicole's bedside at University Hospital and demands that EJ drop Gabby's false murder charges. Stephen turns to face Nicole, expressing his regret for the interruption and his sympathies for their child's passing. He turns to face EJ, telling her that he can put an end to Gabby's pain. Nicole tells EJ to go talk to his brother outside. They then leave. Nicole bursts into tears as soon as Abe enters carrying flowers. Abe says he heard from Brandon and extends his sympathy. Nicole claims he has been phoning but hasn't been able to get through. Brandon is sending love and support. According to Abe, I miss Brandon. The two talk about their past and how Nicole was once referred to as Abe's bonus daughter. According to Abe, he is the ideal father. These two are gold. Nicole shares with Abe their hopes and intentions for their son. Nicole was considering karma when he entered. She talks about how horrible she used to be and how perhaps it's all coming back to haunt her. Abe pats her face and tells her that although she has gone through a terrible tragedy, it is not a punishment. He assures her that she is not alone and refers to himself as a part of her family. Thank you, Dad, she says. And I turned into a soft puddle of goo. Wendy arrives at University Hospital and runs into Tripp in the lobby. She shares with him what transpired involving Ava. Salem Police Department. Questioning area. Clyde contacts Ava to inquire about killing Gil. Gil allegedly attempted to rape Ava. Irrespective of the situation, Clyde is curious as to whether she took the evidence room keys from Harris. He tells her that if she doesn't follow his orders, he has more goons ready to hurt Tripp. If she takes the good detective's keys, Clyde will forgive her for killing Gil. Harris walks into the room as she's screaming at Clyde. They hang up when he reminds her to grab Harris' keys. Ava makes up the story that she spoke with a criminal defense lawyer who demanded a hefty price. Harris killed Gil in self-defense, so she thinks she won't need legal representation. She acknowledges his help but expresses concern about how much she is making his life more difficult. Harris responds, I'm not doing anything like that, and resumes her work. Everything must be done according to the book, and he must accept her assertion. Ava sees his keys on the desk before they start. Ava is in the process of telling Tripp and Wendy about what happened that evening when they arrive. Wendy and Harris offer them some alone time. Tripp claims he would have completed the task on his own if Ava hadn't slain Gil. He picks up the phone and gets her the greatest defense attorney in the area. Random Park. Stefan believes that instead of getting even with Gabby, EJ ought to be concentrating on his own tragedy. Stefan is reminded of all the evidence against her by EJ. Stefan offers EJ his former position at Demira in return for his wife's release. If it can convince him, he even consents to EJ being the sole CEO. Suddenly, EJ receives a text regarding Ava's arrest. He says he's tired of Demira's rotating door while glancing at Stefan. Now, EJ's main concern is locking up the Salem criminals who have become hardened. Stefan believes that retribution will, and maybe has, bit him in the ass. Statesville. Clyde welcomes Stefan as his favorite zombie Demira as he arrives. When he arrived to visit Gaby, a fellow prisoner informed him about Clyde's desire to see him. Clyde marvels how such a nasty person got to be DA and finds it unbelievable that EJ is railroading Gaby. Clyde believes it would be unfortunate if Gaby had an internal injury because he respects Stefan's commitment to her. He gives Stefan something in return for his protection services. When Abby gets back to Horton Square, he purposefully runs into Paulina. He says he would love to accept her invitation to Thanksgiving, but plans with Steve and Kayla have fallen through. Eric tells the entire story of how Nicole switched the babies and reared Sydney for a very long time. He continues by describing how Samantha Jean exchanged numerous DNA testing over the 1990s. Sloan speculates that because of everything Sami did, Eric was able to pardon Nicole. Eric describes how people might act in a desperate manner at times. Tripp called Belle, who declined to speak on behalf of Ava. He then gives Justin a call. Harris' keys are swiped by Ava while he's on the phone. Harris comes back and informs her that she can spend the evening at home. After returning to Nicole's side, EJ hears about her encounter with Abby from her. She wants an update on Stefan's circumstances. Updated on her, EJ says he turned down Stefan's offer to get back on at Demira. According to spoilers for Days of Our Lives, things in Salem are about to get ugly soon. EJ Demira and Nicole Walker were hit hard by the devastating news regarding their baby child. Fans may be aware that the youngster is not EJ's kid and that he is alive and well, but the whole situation may have brought out Mr. Demira's darker side once more. Dual spoilers suggest that in the next days and weeks, EJ and Nicole will both likely still be grieving the death of their child. This will be particularly difficult in light of all the upcoming family vacations. Nicole will be upset because the quantity of child loss she has experienced is totally unjust. EJ will be totally disoriented. Having had to bear and then lose 3 children, he will not know how to handle his feelings as their father. He'll be furious and probably take out his anger on someone by getting revenge. When it came to getting even for his mother's passing, EJ went to great lengths. How far will he go to exact revenge for the death of his son? Now that Dimitri von Leischner has split up with Leo Stark and is still in Salem, Lady Whistleblower ought to be extremely anxious, not just because of EJ's anger, but also because of his looming legal troubles. Ultimately, it was his vehicle that carelessly resulted in Nicole's collision, triggering her premature delivery. Demira will think that EJ and Nicole's baby would have probably been okay if this hadn't happened. Leo is shown blackmailing Sloan Peterson in the DOL teaser video, hoping that he will swiftly figure out who is who. If and when he comes into contact with the child, he might also recall the child's face. Is he using her as a pawn to get her free legal advice, or perhaps assistance in avoiding EJ? Will the dark side of EJ surface? Who set up Gaby, and if so, how? Post your ideas in the comments below. Thanks for watching if you like this video. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.